Hey, what's going on? It's Mando Crusader, and welcome to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. A bit of a special one today for a couple of reasons. Today, we are going to be looking at a deck requested by one of you guys. This deck is Grixis Ninjas. It was requested by Rudy Russ. Thank you for the request. It took me a little bit to get the wild cards, but I have it all assembled now, and I'm really excited to try it out. As usual, I'm going to be going through the deck tech first. If that doesn't interest you, I'll have a timestamp that will send you right to when the matches begin. Before you skip there, though, I just want to mention that if you like this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Additionally, I would say you can request a video, me to look at a deck of your own, but considering the changes that Wizards is making to Historic, there's probably not gonna be any more arena content on the channel, so yeah, sorry about that. But I did get this one. So yeah. So without further ado, let's get into the deck tech. So when I was building this deck, I started off with the traditional sort of Ninjas shell, which is inherently a bit of a demure shell with the unblockable creatures, and all the ninjas are in blue or black. And so the question that really I had to tackle was, what can we add in red that would make this even better? And I found some things that I think could make this a really, really nice deck. So let's go over the mana base first, which is actually a proper mana base. No skimping out on the shocks this time. We've got everything we need. I decided to go with 5 basics, 2 islands, 2 swamps, and 1 mountain. Additionally, we have 4 clear water pathways, 4 watery graves, 2 river glide pathways, 4 steam vents, and 4 blood crypts. I think this is pretty good. We have some red sources. It's the least in our deck. Everything else is either blue or black. But then again, red is the least played and like kind of least important-ish color in the deck. So we should be good there. I've thought about maybe reducing the basics by like 2, maybe only having 1 of each, maybe add a couple of the Rakdos pathways or something to that effect. But still, I figured this would probably be fine. More than likely. Going up from the bottom of the mana curve, first off, we have a 0 mana card here, Ornithopter. This is our generic evasive free creature that we can use to ninjutsu our ninjas onto. Granted, it only works if our opponent doesn't have any flying creatures, but in this meta, come on, who's playing flying creatures these days? It's all about humans and Yund. So that's that. In the 1 mana slot, we've got 4 copies of Changeling Outcast. This is our second evasive creature. It cannot be blocked, so this means it's always a guaranteed ninjutsu hit. And even if you don't have any ninjas to ninjutsu onto it, it's always a guaranteed 1 damage, and it only costs 1, so that's really, really cool. We got 2 copies of Fatal Push for a little bit of removal, always a good thing. We also have 3 copies of Thoughtseize, because hand disruption is good, and I love Thoughtseize, pretty much. In the 2 mana slot, we've got 2 copies of Censor. It can help us draw cards, which will be very important in the when you take the coming card in mind with its 1 blue cycling, but in the early game, it can also be a nice little 2-mana counterspell that our opponent may not see coming, especially from a Ninja's deck. So I decided to add that in. Next up is our first reason to play red, and that is Improbable Alliance. So the thing about Ninjas is Ninjas, if it's set up correctly, can draw a lot of cards, with creatures like Ninja of the Deep Hours drawing cards, Ingenious Infiltrator allowing all of your ninjas to draw cards if they deal damage. But the problem I've seen with Ninja's decks in the past is you don't really have a lot to do with those cards, right? You just sort of draw. You draw so much that you either, if you can't beat down your opponent by that point, you end up discarding down to hand size, which isn't something we particularly want to do. Improbable Alliance helps us do something with that card draw. So Improbable Alliance is for a blue and a red. It's an enchantment. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. This allows us to get some value out of our, hopefully, if all goes well, obscene card draw by creating a fairy each turn. It's a 1/1. It's evasive. We can ninjutsu onto it. And, at least I'm pretty sure we can ninjutsu onto it. Yeah, we can ninjutsu onto it. And this helps enable us go a bit wide. So we have, like, 2 of these on the field. We draw, like, a card by ninjutsuing Ninja of the Deep Hours, for example, and we create 2 fairies. Or we cycle Censor. We create 2 fairies, etc., etc. So this helps us go wide, and it gives us a little bit of long game, more slightly mid-range potential as well with this deck. Moving on to our 3-drops, we have Mist Syndicate Naga. This is one of our finishers for the beatdown portion of the deck instead of the go wide portion of the deck. 2 mana, 3 mana, 2 and a blue. Ninjutsus for the same cost. Whenever Mist Syndicate Naga deals combat damage to a player, create a token that is a copy of Mist Syndicate Naga. This helps with the whole go wide plan, and because it's a 3/1, it helps with the whole beatdown plan as well. So hopefully we can get a nice wide board with this and our fairies and whatnot. Next we got 2 copies of Throat Seeker. This ninja cannot ninjutsu, but it does have a very nice effect. Unblocked attacking ninjas you control have lifelink. Again, this helps give us a little bit of that long game potential that Improbable Alliance can give us, and it helps keep us in the game a little bit. Now, because it doesn't have ninjutsu, I only put 2 in the deck, but I think that's a pretty good amount if I'm being honest. Next, we've got 2 copies of the Royal Scions. I feel this Planeswalker is another reason to play red. The first +1 is draw a card, then discard a card. Obvious implications with Improbable Alliance, allowing us to trigger it. But it also helps us churn through our deck just a little bit. The discard a card isn't the best thing because you don't have anything like Delirium or Madness or whatnot to sort of take advantage of that, but it can help us get rid of an unnecessary land drop, for example. The second +1 is target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike and trample until the end of turn. This can help, say, deter a block so that we can ninjutsu in a ninja. We can give trample to our Mist Syndicate Naga and first strike to a Mist Syndicate Naga to make sure it lives and creates a token. Lots of implications with that. And finally, the ultimate, which you probably won't be using once, is draw 4 cards. When you do, the Royal Scions deals damage to any target equal to the number of cards in your hand. Pretty good for a deck that's going to be drawing a lot of cards, but again, it probably won't live long enough to ultimate it, but who knows? It could always. Finally, in the 3-drop spot, we've got one copy of Kolaghan's Command. Anytime I play a deck that has black-red in its colors, I always have to add a copy of Kolaghan's Command because it's such a great card. Choose 2. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Target player discards a card. Destroy target artifact. Or Kolaghan's command deals 2 damage to any target. You almost never are disappointed to see this pop up in your hand. And as such, I just added a copy. Finally, in our quote-unquote 4-drop slot, we have the rest of our ninjas. Now, the reason I say quote-unquote is because ideally, these are not 4 drops. These are 2 drops. You want to be playing these for 2 mana. First off, we have Ninja of the Deep Hours, ninjutsus for 1 and a blue, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Obvious implications with our whole card draw theme. Secondly, Ingenious Infiltrator, ninjutsus for a blue and a black. Whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Again, this gives all of our ninjas the same effect as Ninja of the Deep Hours does on its own, which is good for, again, Improbable Alliance. Finally, at the very, very top of our curve, we have a one-off copy of Niv Mizzet Parun. Probably nailed that. It's really expensive. It's really demanding in the mana. It requires exactly 3 blue and 3 red to cast. But this is our sort of tertiary win condition. It can't be countered, and whenever we draw a card, Niv Mizzet deals 1 damage to any target, and whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery, we draw a card. This can help us sort of deal that last little bit of damage if we're falling behind. It can help us clear the board, and again, we don't want to be drawing this every game, so that's why I only put 1 in. It's just like a one-off, like I said, it's a one-off tertiary win condition, and it's our 4th reason to play red. So, that's the deck. I think this is really sound. I think it's going to be really fun, and I can't wait to see how this does in play queue. So let's get into a few matches and see how it does. Alright. See what we've got here. No black. It's a bit of a yikes. I'm not gonna lie. But we do have Improbable Alliance and Miss Syndicate Naga. And once you do get black, you've got our unblockable creature as well as push. So I think we're gonna risk it here. And there's our black right there. You know, sometimes you are lucky. Always have to remember that. Looks like we may be up against Silencia Company? Let's push the Innkeeper and swing for 1. Not Silencia Company. I'm pretty sure they don't play Cultivate. Right. I think we need to start up the beatdown strategy here. So let's get the guaranteed Miss Syndicate hit in now. Put 2 of those on the field. Next turn we can... Ah, dang, it's the Meat Massacre. Well, that puts a damper on the plan, doesn't it? Bring out Changeling Outcast again. And Improbable Alliance. I think we're going to want to put our pathway out on red. Hallowed Priest. That is a yikes. Well, let's attack here. Let's ninjutsu in our ingenious infiltrator. Another changeling outcast. Let's put that on the field. Surely they don't have a second Meathook Massacre. Okay. Well, that's... Never mind, chat. Or chat. Well, I think that's some kind of streamer. Never mind, guys. We just draw another one. Everything is fine. Let's draw some cards. I would like to draw a card, please. I would like to play out an Ornithopter. I would like to play out a tapped Blood Crypt. And I would like to bring out Changeling Outcast, because why not? As long as our opponent doesn't have a board wipe, we should be fine. That's not a board wipe. That is perfectly acceptable. So let's bring out Throat Seeker. And let's just attack with all our guys here. As all of our ninjas gain lifelink. I would like to draw a card. Let's bring out the Watery Grave. And we're gonna keep a few cards here a little close to our chest. Just in case they do have a board wipe, we can sort of recover just a little bit. Okay, Marauding Blight Priest. Let's K-command here. Kill the Blight Priest. And make them discard a card. Celestial Unicorn. Alright, let's see. If we play this here... Okay. So, we have a choice. Either Miss Syndicate Naga or Niv Mizzet. And I think the choice is pretty clear, if I'm being honest here. And yeah, that's game. That is game. Opponent scoops it up. And yeah, that actually worked really, really well. That worked extremely well, in fact. I'm really happy with that. I'm super happy with that. Alright. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, this is actually really nice. We got our Thoughtseizes. We've got our Ornithopter, our Infiltrator. Vampire of the Dire Moon. Aha. Let's take the Infernal Grasp. unfortunately, that does mean our opponent gets Cleric class out. Let's start here, see what we've got. 2 Miss Syndicate Naga is really nice. Of course, we gotta take 2. We really need to start going wide, because our opponent is getting a lot of life gain. Three Ornithopters. Don't mind me. And we do have a blocker for these Vampire of the Dire Moons. Well, that's not good. Right. Okay. So, yeah, the only solution here is just keep going wide. Bring out the Ornithopter. Let's bring in the Blood Crypt tapped, because our life total is at a little bit of a premium here. Kill that Vampire of the Dire Moon. Fatal Push. Coming in clutch. And now we get to truly go in. Swing for a casual 9. Draw a bunch of cards. Draw way too many cards. You know what? I think I'm gonna decline that one. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna decline it. We have to discard 3 cards. It's actually really, really sad. But I think we're gonna discard the Thoughtseize. The Pathway. And actually, we're gonna discard both Thoughtseizes. Like I said, our life total's at a little bit of a premium. We've got Fatal Push for this Vampire if somehow the Miss Syndicate Naga doesn't kill it. Okay. Alright. This looks scary. It looks really scary. But it's actually not scary in the slightest. So, here's what we're going to do. When you attack with all of this, the Sanctum Seeker's going to block something, but that thing isn't actually going to die. You see, our Ornithopter left the battlefield this turn, and Sanctum Seeker only is 4 mana. And now, we win the game, just like that. Just like that. And we also had the second Improbable Alliance. We had a K command to back us up here. And Yeah. I honestly, that our board state here, I think at that point, probably the only way the opponent could win is if we self-milled ourselves. And with the amount of ingenious infiltrators we had, that was actually a disturbing possibility. But, still, they scooped up, so we take those. Alright. Alright. So what we have here, we've got all of our mana colors. Drawing both of our islands is a little bit of a yikes. But we should be able to deal, right? Maybe, probably. Also, we kind of need one of our evasive creatures as well, but maybe we can get one from Improbable Alliance plus the Royal Scions. Okay. Got some Simic action going on. Let's get Improbable Alliance in play. And then next turn, assuming nothing needs pushing, which it doesn't look like, we can play out the island, put out the Royal Scions, draw a card, and once we have the fairy token,
our bond was forged in battle.
I enjoy the proper application of knowledge.
we can now get the card draw engine online. We can get the ninjutsu engine online. Oh, is this, oh no, is this that combo? Oh gosh. Ugh. Oh no. Right, well, Llanowar Elves needs to die. It is that simple. Attack here. Ninjutsu onto our fairy. Draw a card. And let's draw with the Royal Scions as well.
Let me synthesize the facts.
And this Changeling Outcast is really, really nice. Just what the doctor ordered, in fact. However, I'm afraid we may be dead. Yeah, Neoform. It's Neoform. Yeah, okay. Alright. You can't win them all. I mean, it's Neoform, so you basically have a 4-turn clock, right? This deck needs a little bit longer than 4 turns, especially with a slightly slower start like that. But still, that's the reason why we have the Royal Scions in the deck, right? A situation like that, we get Improbable Alliance on the field, we draw a card with the Royal Scions, we get a fairy, and then we can start the card draw engine with our ninjutsuing. So, even in defeat, if it wasn't against, like, Neoform, I think that would have been a really, really, I still think that's a really, really good example of how this deck has multiple ways to sort of get the engine going. Alright. I think we keep this because of the nice mana. We also can hardcast Miss Syndicate Naga if necessary. Let's put in tapped Blood Crypt. And see where we go from there. Okay. that's mildly concerning. And let's put in tapped Watery Grave as well. What's our opponent's game plan here? We do have the push, if necessary. Shatter the Sky. Well, I'm keeping that Ornithopter, then. Let's see. I think we want River Glide. And let's start with the, sort of initial go-wide beatdown strategy here. No, I should have put out Ornithopter that time. That was my bad. Bit of a misplay, but still, it does give us the opportunity to put out the Royal Scions next turn as well, so. What is our opponent's game here? Because they're dumping a lot of things. I'm assuming they're looking for mastery? Probably? In order to hit something, but I'm not quite sure what. They're dumping a lot in their graveyard. They're dumping a disturbing amount into their graveyard.
By my side, I do not fear
let's bring out the Royal Scions, get a little bit of extra damage in. And I think even with a board wipe, they're really, really low on life here. We have lethal on board. There's the board wipe. This is why we kept the Ornithopter, by the way. We can enter that tapped. Let's bring out the Changeling Outcast. Let's draw a card.
My plan is crystallizing.
Let's bin the push. And 2 more turns, we actually can ultimate the Royal Scions if, our opponent doesn't find a way to kill it here. Meanwhile, our opponent just keeps churning through his deck. I actually have no idea what the plan is here.
Let us plan for the trials ahead.
Let's get rid of a Ninja of the Deep Hours. Let's Thoughtseize. Well, let's just take the creature. I just don't like its existence. Let's bring in Ingenious Infiltrator. Swing for 2. Draw a card. Put it back out, Changeling Outcast. And kind of hope they just don't draw a board wipe. If they don't draw a board wipe, we're kind of golden here. I think they probably drew a Settle the Wreckage. Okay, let's ninjutsu onto Changeling Outcast. Draw 2 cards. Let's ultimate the Royal Scions. And this is... Wait, this is lethal!
We like to finish each other's...
That's... I honestly don't believe it. I do not believe it. I don't believe that just happened. That didn't just happen. Did I actually just win off of the Royal Scion, off of an ultimate from the Royal Scions? Anything can happen. Follow your dreams, guys. If that happened, anything can happen in your life. I honestly have no idea what our opponent's game plan here was. I have no clue, but whatever it was, it took them way too long. Alright, so that was Grixis Ninjas. It is a super fun deck. It is so fun. I absolutely loved my time with it. This was just really, really great. It teared up play queue surprisingly well. I don't know if it has any potential for ranked, especially in such a creature-heavy meta like this, like the one we're currently in. Also, who knows how any quote-unquote rebalancing is going to be with wonderful alchemy that's going to be happening. But, that's, I already made a rant about that, and I'm not going to get into that too much here. But, yeah, thank you again, Rudy Russ, for the suggestion. Or requests, or however you want to phrase that. This was really, really fun. I absolutely loved it. So, yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And, leave a comment. Comments below. And, yeah. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.